I'm swimming in questions, guys. Swimming. The first one goes to Sheikh Adeyemi, and I know he does, so let me answer this on his behalf. The question says, are there one-on-one sessions for therapy and what's it called? Counseling sessions? The answer is yes, there is. And then another question goes, are there sessions that are free? That's one I don't know. Then he will answer that, but not yet. For Sheikh Noor, the major questions that came towards you is to shed more light on how best to keep a halal pre-marital relationship. Quickly, sir.
Bismillah, alhamdulillah, sallallahu rasulillah wa alihi sahbihi ajma'in. All right, so halal dating, let's just be honest, okay? What is halal dating and what is the concept, especially with new, I think apps and also medium in the digital age. Number one, do not make people who don't hold the values of Islam your role models, okay? We are so bombarded with Instagram and Twitter and Snapchat and all of the, now TikTok, for the love of Allah, like what that is, forget about that. But there's so much influencing our own perceptions of relationships, our own perceptions of ourselves. I'm talking about positive image ideology, your own perceptions of the opposite gender. I'll give you one short story of how dangerous this is. One of my friends, he was trying to get married for a very long time, and he's a pretty boy, so I don't help him. Yeah? I know some people, you look at them, they want help, they don't want help. Right? I say, you got it. So finally, he's so picky that it took him, up to, I think he's 28, he wasn't married. Not because he can't, because he's picky. Okay? So finally he said, just help me, So I said, okay, I'm going to try a experiment. Okay? We offered, my wife and I, some people that she knew, and we said, okay, are you interested in this person or this person? Every one of them was no. And then I said, here, let me try something. I said, send him a friend of yours which does not wear hijab. Because the perception of a woman with hijab and without hijab is skewed in the minds of many men. Many men. So what they see on the internet is this woman, like our Shaykha mentioned, Ustadha, that they are, like what you see is what people cake themselves up with, both men and women. What they want people to see. The images that you see on the internet are people that have sometimes went through physique and contour imaging and all kinds of crazy things, where some of them in their photo shoots take 2,000 pictures for one picture on Instagram. And you're like, I do that in my bathroom, and forget that. Right? There's people that take, angles and all of that kind of stuff. So I said, okay, send a picture of somebody who doesn't wear hijab. All right? And immediately he was like, yeah, maybe that one. Maybe that one. We'll look into it. I said, okay, let me do another experiment. I said, listen, send me a picture of a person that you might be interested in. And it could be like a model or whatever is in your mind. It took 4.5 seconds for a link to an Instagram page to come out. And as soon as I saw it, I said, brother, you don't want a woman, you want a person that has a photograph team. Somebody who can do Photoshop, airbrushing, right? A makeup team. And a personal fitness trainer, and a cook also to cook for her to look like this. He doesn't want a real person, he literally wants an image. And this is going to affect so many of your perceptions of the person you're interested in. And this is why I'm going to lead to something else. A man came to Imam Ahmad, and look at how much of our tradition solves a lot of the questions of today. He said, yeah, Imam Ahmad, should I look for a person that I'm attracted to first or ask about their religion first? Look what Imam Ahmad said. He said, look to see if you're attracted first. You're like, huh? What? Imam Ahmad said this to him for a very powerful reason. The man was even surprised. He said, what do you mean? How can I look for someone attraction over deen? He said, listen to me. If you ask about a woman's deen first, and then you ask about her attractiveness, you see her and her religion checks out, everything, and then you see her. And if you reject her based on the fact that you're not attracted to her, this might be actually something very vain. Because you're rejecting a good woman simply because of vanity. It's your haqq, but it's still It's still, there's something there. Something doesn't sit right. He said, but rather, before you get to know somebody, see if you're attracted to them first, and then get to know them. And if then the deen works out, alhamdulillah, khair wa barakah. And if it doesn't work out, then you're actually doing something good. If someone's religion is not up to par to you, what you're looking for, then this is actually praiseworthy. You're giving up dunya for the sake of deen. And this is why it will lead to maybe the real question, which is then how should we go about in premarital relationships? Listen, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us very clearly, very simply, try to stay away from khalwa, which is to absolute seclusion where there's no one around you. There's you're absolutely secluded. There's obviously, shaitan can make the most pious man go astray, the pious woman go astray. Okay? What are the parameters of that? Like WhatsApp or email? Don't ask me questions. Don't ask me questions. The reason for that is because Islam did not give us the fatwa on the minutiae, but gave us generalities and said to you, like our Stada said, have dignity and honor. Be a man and woman with dignity. Clear your intentions, yarhamakumullah, and go about it the right way. If you don't have the 4 levels of maturity, if you're not ready to get married, you're just trying to, say what's up, take it somewhere else. And that is why it goes both ways. You have to check your intentions and check the intentions of the person you're involved in. Islam did not come to tell you this app is halal, this app is haram. Islam did not come to tell you this is the way you have to go about it. You have to go through your mother, you have to go through your aunt. Islam didn't say any of this. Islam gave you the freedom to find that person who's compatible with you. I want you all to understand this before walking out. Islam gave us that freedom, but Islam gave us guidelines. Islam gave us clear guidelines. And that is why you should never leave from 2 things. Number 1, istishara with elders, with people who know what they're talking about, not your homegirl, not your guy, who they've had relationships. Guess what? Every relationship is meaningless if it's not anchored with marriage. If it's not anchored with marriage, that relationship is meaningless. You may have some understanding, some etc., but do not take advice from people who are not grounded in the same values. Why? Because we're learning how to have failed relationships from Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat. Okay? So these are the parameters. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave us freedom, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us to have dignity and honor.
This question goes to my sister, and it goes to talking about these major issues that we're doing now, which is pre-wedding pictures, wedding gown, cutting cake, public partying and dancing and makeups and all that. The position in Islam.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. To summarize, say it as quickly as possible. Eating cake, halal? Yeah? If you cut it with a knife, can you still eat it? So you've answered the question. So say Bismillah, we are done. Pictures. While some may argue, but as far as I know and understand, taking pictures is halal? Yes. So you can take pictures. Now, who you happen to be grabbing when you're taking the pictures and now you're entering dangerous waters. So if it's a man and a woman who are not yet married, but who are actually standing like no breathing space, up close and personal, and they are not yet married, I think they've crossed a boundary right there. If it's a photograph where maybe the lady is sitting on a chair, the man is standing, and they've given each other breathing space, what's halal, then I don't see a problem there. That's my understanding. What was the other issue they raised? Makeup. Now, I mentioned makeup because of the excessiveness, where a mother actually failed to recognize her own daughter because the makeup was heavy. And sometimes when you go to the root of such heavy makeup, it's beyond just its makeup. It's a question of identity, a question of how you see yourself and what you feel about your own face. However, as far as I know, there's nothing wrong with makeup. But as with all things, please let it be moderate. Why I say as far as I understand there's nothing wrong with makeup, because eyeliner is halal in Islam, that is makeup. Henna on your hands is halal in Islam, that is makeup. So as far as I know, wallahu a'lam, makeup is fine. Just don't be excessive. Parties, they said. Yes. It depends on what you're doing during the party. Again, the name, the umbrella you put is not the issue, it's what are you doing during the party. We know what is halal, we know what is haram. If it's people wriggling and jiggling all the jigglables and it's mixed company, then we say, okay, I think you are crossing the line right there. If it's a bunch of ladies having a ladies' party and they say, all the guys, get out, we want to jiggle, then please, bismillah, jiggle away. Just still understand there are still boundaries, even if we are just ladies. This is my understanding.
What is the position if someone issues 3 talaqs in a row to the partner? Is the marriage over? Is there a problem there? Then that will just be the final point and we'll round up.
Okay, I will answer that one by giving you the phone numbers of counseling units you can consult and hear details of all of these matters. I thought we would be asking about how to solidify marriage. Somebody is already asking about talaq issues. Subhanallah. So there's Bainakum Family Counseling Center. There's also ICIC Al-Nur Directorate for Arts, Counseling and Culture. The one for ICIC Al-Nur, you know Al-Nur, you can just walk up there and ask for the Directorate for Arts, Counseling and Culture. There's free counseling there. It's only if it is premarital counseling that you need to pay for. But for other counseling, this one asking about talaq, that one asking about tom-tom and things like that, all that one is free of charge. You can contact this lady, because many of you here are ladies. Her name is Sister Aisha, 0803 613 6786. Should I take that again? 080 36 13 67 86. Then the other one for Bainakum Family Counseling Center, contact Philosopher King. That's Brother Abdul Razak. His number is 080 28 43 16 90. So if you speak to any of these people, and if for any reason, if I need to be involved, they will let me know. Most of the time, I don't get too involved. These are the leaders of the counseling team, either at Bainakum or at ICIC and Nur. So long as it's not premarital, you are not to pay, it's free of charge. May Allah make it easy for us.
May Allah reunite us. May Allah bless our speakers and guide them home safely. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun. Wa salamun ala al-mursaleen. Walhamdulillahi rabbil alameen.